everyone, I'm here with another video, so welcome back if you're been sticking around for my last few videos, but if you're new, welcome to my channel. So I have quite a big book haul, at least for me, here for you, because I went to Barnes & Noble and also Half Price Books today, so that was extremely eventful because I got stuff I've been really wanting, and also I've gotten just a few books along the way this year, so, or at least since I've been in my apartment. So this is all stuff from when I moved into my apartment till now, so let's get into it. Okay, so up first I just have my partner's books that I have gotten the new released covers for. So I've shown these off a few times, but I got his The Whispers and the Angels, and then also the re-release of his first two books. So the first one is For Those Who Died, and also the second one is For Those That Are Left. So these two are part of his political fiction duology series he did, because he did some editing to them, changed some things in the plot, and then re-released them with hardback and matte covers. So, and then I mentioned this one before, but he re-released this one with a redesigned cover and also a matte cover, because we went through and edited his first release of this book. So yeah, so this is his third one. This is his debut into fantasy, and I covered this one on my book update, which was a couple weeks ago. So yeah, he's having his next book come out relatively soon that will continue with this series, his fantasy series, and I'll link. So I found out, because I started a new channel, I can't put links in my description yet, which is highly annoying. So I'm putting links like my Goodreads, my Instagram, and then my other YouTube channel, and also I'll be putting his Lulu account where you can find his books in a pinned comment, and I'm doing this for each of my videos until I can put stuff in the description box. But yeah, so just so you know. And then some books I've gotten that are more popular in stores, at least. I got my hands on Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. So I've seen this one floating around quite a bit. I believe this is more like almost a literary fiction, kind of like coming of age kind of story. So this is following our two main characters. Yeah, Sam and Sadie are our two main characters. So I believe they had grown up as friends, and they both got into like games, and I think one of them even becomes like a game dev of some sort. But yeah, so pretty much this one is just like them getting closer to each other when they first met and were friends when they were younger through games, and then they reconnect when they're older, and they're kind of both finding themselves. But I've heard lots of good things about this. I don't really want to know a whole lot about it, hence why my summary is not very lengthy. But yeah, so I just have heard lots of good things about this, and I love a good coming of age book. So, and then I also got The Stolen Heir by Holly Black, which is relatively new. It is a new release. So this is continuing on in the Elfhame universe. So this is after the Folk of the Air trilogy, so the Cruel Prince trilogy, and it's following Oak, which was technically it's Vivian's half-brother. Jude and Taryn are not related to Oak. Anyways, they all grew up together, it's fine. So this is when Oak is older, And it's carrying on with him and also a character we meet in the Cruel Prince trilogy near the end, Surin, which is she's like the crowned queen at the time of the Court of Teeth, but she's kind of been enslaved into that position based on what the other two Court of Teeth people were doing. I don't know. You'd have to read Cruel Prince to know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so it's following them, and I've heard that this gets into much more darker things than the Cruel Prince touched, which is interesting, and I'm like highly intrigued because I love the Cruel Prince trilogy, and I kind of think I understand why that it gets a little darker in this one, just because it is following Oaken Surin, and some messed up stuff happens in the Court of Teeth, so very excited for this one. And then I also got These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I have been wanting to get my hands on this for a while, I just hadn't yet, but I've only heard good things about this. It's quite popular right now, and it's also a Romeo and Juliet retelling in, I believe it's like, is it the 40s? Yeah, it's like 1920s Shanghai. Yeah. So, it's got more of that kind of aesthetic and vibe, but it also has like fantasy vibes in it, which is interesting to me. So yeah, it's more like an urban fantasy, but set in the 1920s. And there's like gangs and other things and a mystery, and I'm very excited for this because I want to get into her other stuff that she's been releasing that kind of piggyback off of this universe. So, and then I also got these. So I finally got my hands on the Atlas 6 and also the Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake. These are the special editions by Illumicrate, and they are so pretty. I'm so glad I found these, because I found these offline, but, because I didn't really like any of the other, covers for this series, like the original paperback that was a self-published release, but then also the published release, and like some of the other covers I just didn't like, and these were the only ones I really liked, so the fact that I found them makes me so happy. But yeah, so this is the second one, and then the end pages look like that. There's also foiling on the hardcover. Yeah, there you go. These are so pretty, but I'm really excited I got these because I've been wanting this series so bad, because they are coming out with a third one, but I was just like, number one, I could never find the first one in hardback anywhere. Here's the foiling on that one. And then also I didn't really like I said, I didn't really like the cover. So, I'm very happy I have these, so I will finally be able to read them. And yes, I'm not afraid to read special editions. I take very good care of my books. But yeah, I love these. These are so pretty. And like, the edges are just everything. Anyway, and then I unboxed this on my 24-hour readathon / book vlog. It turned into a book vlog real fast, but it is a collection of Alice Oseman's short stories. Some of these are how she started Nick and Charlie for Heartstopper, but I got Solitaire, which is about Tory Spring. I also got Radio Silence, and this one is about Francis, which is, yeah, I believe this is the person who Alan is getting closer to and met online, I think. So Alan is one of Charlie's friends from Heartstopper. I also got I Was Born for this, and this is about our main character, Angel, who is in a teenage boy band, a pop rock band, which sounds cute. And then also Loveless, which is about a main character who is struggling with their identity, and possibly about someone who is asexual and aromantic, which sounds interesting, especially since based on the synopsis it says she is obsessed with fanfics and romance, so that should be interesting. And then these two are the shortest, but this is Nick and Charlie and also This Winter, and so clearly this is what started Nick and Charlie and Heartstopper, and then we also get some more of Charlie and his friends in this one. So yeah, I'm excited I got these. I've been wanting these for a while. Oh, and so that 6-book collection I got on Amazon. There is actually a version of it where you can get all 6 books in that, the matching covers. And then I did not get these off Amazon, but my partner got these off Amazon for me. But it is the Caraval trilogy by Stephanie Garber. So the first one is Caraval. The second one is Legendary. I love these covers so much. And then the last one is Finale. So this one is about a circus. I love a good circus fantasy. Yes. So this is about our main character, Scarlett, who is trying to get away from her life at home because she's got an arranged marriage situation, and pretty much all she's ever wanted to do is see Caraval, which is like a once-in-a-lifetime circus thing. I think it only shows up like once a year. Yeah. So she finally gets there to run away, and as soon as she gets there, she gets like thrown into this like competition to find the person who brought her there, Tella. So she's trying to find Tella in this, and basically the first person who finds her is the winner, and it just has like romance in it and magic vibes, and I love this kind of vibe. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. I've been wanting it for a while, and I finally have it. So, and then one of my coworkers is also a huge book nerd, and we found a like yard sale like book event going on near us. So we went, and I got quite a few books, and it sounds like some of them should be bangers, so I'm excited for that. But so I found a annotated version of Dracula by Bram Stoker, and I've been wanting the original Dracula for a while now, but this one actually has like illustrations in it, which is cool. But I love Bram Stoker's Dracula, so I'm very excited for this one. And then I also got this one, A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. So the author sounded familiar to me, but this one, so not only does it have like illustrations in it that give me good vibes, but also it has a really high rating on Goodreads, which is very promising to me. But it sounds like a monster creature-esque like horror story, or like a creepy kind of vibe, and also a bit of a mystery. So this sounds super interesting to me. And then I also got The Thief Lord by Cornelia Funk. So my coworker said she had read this one and she really liked it. But it's pretty much about 2 orphan brothers. Here, I'll just read the synopsis since it's quite short. But 2 orphan brothers have run away to Venice, where crumbling canals and misty alleyways shelter a secret community of street urchins. The leader of this motley crew of lost children is a clever, charming boy who calls himself the Thief Lord, and he has a dark secret, something from a forgotten past that poses a threat to the boy's freedom, a treasure so enchanted it can spin time. So it sounds straight up my alley. I love a good like It almost sounds like the kids in Peter Pan, like almost like Found Family kind of vibe. So I'm interested. And also I got this one. So this is the Green Glass House, and this is by Kate Milford. So this is actually the first in a series, but it is like a wintry mystery, and it sounds kind of like a cozy mystery almost, but our main character spends the night in Greengrass home as like a getaway vacation, I guess. But like there's a bunch of like guests here that are secretive, and also each one of them has some kind of tie to this house for whatever reason. And stuff goes missing. So the main character and another character kind of band together to solve the mystery that's going on in here. But it sounds like a cozy mystery for wintertime, and it has quite high ratings on Goodreads as well. And also the cover is just, it's vibes, you know? Sometimes we get books because of the cover. I'm not gonna lie. I need to pull the sticker off this, but this is the City of Falling Angels by John Berendt. There. So this is a true crime in Venice. My coworker said she read this one and she enjoyed it. And also I've been trying to get a few more true crime things. So it seems like this one is about a arsonist in Venice, because one of the historic opera houses gets destroyed by a fire, and so it's a mystery about that. So, and then last book in this section of the haul is Coda by Emma Travain. So this sounds like almost like a sci-fi contemporary mystery. I got a lot of mystery books apparently. So but it sounds like almost like underground dark web almost kind of vibe, which sounds interesting. There are literally no reviews on Goodreads, just ratings. So I don't know much about it. I feel like this cover is familiar to me. I think I've seen it before, so kind of been wanting to get into more sci-fi stuff, since like I'm not a huge sci-fi person. I never really have been, but I feel like if I start picking stuff that actually sounds nice to me, then I'll get into it more. So and then so 2 separate times I went to Half Price Books in the last couple of months because I love that place. So the first time I went, I got so this is the most exciting purchase for me, but I got The Stand by Stephen King, and this is the fully uncut version. And I'm so happy I found this finally, because I've been looking for it for a while. And I've been wanting to get more of Stephen King's works, starting with The Stand, because my dad mentioned it was his top favorite of Stephen King's works. So, and then for funsies, this is The World's Worst Crimes from A to Z, and it's by Charlotte Grieg. So it's exactly what it sounds like, because I love me some true crime and also some disturbing stuff. So yes. And then also I got The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. So this is an H.H. Holmes retelling or true crime kind of vibe. And then I also got All Is Well by Mona Awad. So Mona Awad's most known for her Bunny novel, but I saw this one at Half Price Books and it sounds crazy and I love it. So it's pretty much about our main character, Miranda, and she has like a chronic issue, but she's like, so she's a theater director, and currently she's trying to do a play for Shakespeare's All Is Well That Ends Well, and it sounds like her cast is trying to do Macbeth instead, and it just sounds like weird, yeah, like weird abstract horror slash mystery, like basically in the same vein of weirdness as Bunny, but it from the from the cover, it clearly has more to do with like chronic illness and things like that as well. So sounds fun. And then I also got the leather-bound copy from Barnes & Nobles of The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. So yeah, I think we all know this one, but yeah, this was in great condition as well. In fact, most of the times I only get books that are in really good condition, but the good thing is most of the ones I find are in great condition, so. And then, just today, I went to Half Price Books again, and I haven't even taken any of the stickers off, but so today's haul, because I went to Half Price Books and Barnes & Noble today, and I am so excited because I got books I, like, really wanted. Wasn't sure I was going to find today, and somehow I did, so, like, I'm so happy. But first up, I found both of these two. So, The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh is the first one, and then the second one is The Rose and the Dagger, and I love these covers. So these two, I think this is just a duology, but these two are about our main character who basically goes on a journey, an adventure, a mission to stop the Boy King because he's been taking the lives of different women he has brought to him to become his bride. But yeah, so they come to him and then they get found the next day as being murdered by him, and so someone close to the main character gets caught up in this, and she kind of sets off to stop him. So that's kind of what I've gathered from this summary. I've seen these before. It sounds like it sounds very interesting to me because it sounds like this Boy King is like described as being a monster. So, sounds neat. And then also, I got One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. So this one is about our main character runs into this girl on the subway, the Tube. It's called the Tube in London, isn't it? No. What is this called? It's in New York City. I'm dumb. Anyway, whatever. Subway. She runs into this girl on the subway who seems to be from a different era, and in fact, it seems like she is somehow a time traveler, and it is a contemporary romance, and it is sapphic, and it sounds wonderful. So, because I have, let's see, I Kiss Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston right here, so, yeah. And then, what I'm really excited for is they had Yellowface by R.F. Kuang there, and I am very excited for this one. So this is a new release by R.F. Kuang. So this is more of a literary fiction type deal from her. So this is about our two main characters. One of them is June and the other one is Athena. And they both have been aspiring authors. And so, as they both start coming out with their transcripts and their writings, it seems like Athena becomes more in the spotlight, if you will, than June. June's works kind of fall flat. And then suddenly, Athena gets into a terrible accident that June witnesses. And June decides to she gets her hands on what Athena was last working on before she released it. and she ends up changing the name to something more racially like neutral, and releases it for herself, and it goes very far. And so pretty much this is kind of like a take on like the issues that come with publishing, and also like for authors, and it sounds crazy, and it also sounds like it sounds like something I haven't heard before, and it's kind of like questioning some things that have actually happened within the publishing industry. So it sounds like things that would make me angry, which sounds like the perfect book for me. So, but yeah, I've only heard good things about this, and I was really excited when I heard about this one, so very glad I got that one. And then also, I ended up getting my hands on Witch King by Martha Wells. So, I most know Martha Wells by her Murderbot little short stories she's done. And then this is her newer release, so this is fantasy. And this is actually a standalone. And this just sounds like amazing. So I think it would be easier for me to read the synopsis on this one, just because, yes, sometimes my brain is not so succinct. But anyways, so this one goes, after being murdered, his consciousness dormant and unaware of the passing of time while confined in an elaborate water trap, Kai wakes to find a lesser mage attempting to harness Kai's magic to his own advantage. That was never going to go well. But why was Kai in prison in the first place? What has changed in the world since his assassination? And why does the Rising World Coalition appear to be growing in influence? Kai will need to pull his allies close and draw on all his pain magic if he is to answer even the least of these questions. And he's not going to like any of those answers. So this just sounds like a vibe. Anyways, I've only heard great things about this, and I wanted to get into Martha Wells' writing anyway. I just happened to get this one first. So, and then moving on to my Barnes & Noble haul. So up first, I finally got my hands on a newer version of The Hobbit, because if you saw my book tour, I have a like first edition copy of The Hobbit. That is what I got from my dad when he used to read it to me as my bedtime story when I was a kid. And so it is like falling apart. So if I were to reread this again, I needed a new copy of it, so I decided to finally get one, because like that thing is so old. It's literally the first printing edition of that book. It's crazy. It's older than me. Anyways, so I finally got my hands on a new one, and then I got a ton of new releases that I'm excited for that I didn't think I was going to be able to get. So I'm like really happy. So up first, I got the Mayfly by CJ Lead. So I have recently, Jesus, my books keep doing that. I have recently gotten into the splatterpunk genre of horror. So that is like very dark, very like trigger warning genre of it. It's basically like snuff horror films, but in writing form, it sounds like. And so, seeing as though this was a new release, I had found it at Barnes & Noble, and I didn't think I was going to, because I was trying to find some other ones, because I wanted to get more into this genre, because I just love, I love horror movies, and I have a thing for snuff films and things like that, which are not for everyone, I understand, but I'm a weirdo, okay? I like my horror. But anyways, so yeah, so our main character is Maeve, who by day she works as a like a princess for like kids. She dresses up as princesses and things like that. But by night she plays like these caricatures at a bar, and pretty much her friend, let's see, her brother's friend, no, her best friend's brother, my bad. Her best friend's brother comes back into town, and he, for some reason, awakes something very, like, murdery in her, and she kind of goes off on a bloody rampage. So it sounds delightful. So yeah, I've just really been wanting to get into more of this genre. And also, the synopsis says it is inspired by American Psycho, which I feel like I should read American Psycho first, but oh well. So, and then this book I am very excited for, but it is The Will of Minnie by James Ellington. So this sounds like amazing to me. So I've heard it's like one of the best academy kind of vibe, and it's got like Greek mythology, Roman, like that kind of vibe in it. But pretty much our main character, so our main character, I believe, is an orphan, and he gets picked up by this man in an orphanage based on his, I believe he has some kind of magic powers in this. It also sounds like the magic system in this is very, like, inventive, which I'm interested in. But he gets picked up by this guy, and he goes through a bout of training before he even goes to this academy for magic, and then he goes to that said academy, and I've heard really good things about this. I love a trial training school kind of setting, and it sounds really good. I know my synopsis doesn't make it sound very good, but like, I'm like super excited about this, and I'm so happy I found this, because I didn't think I was going to be able to find it. But also, and this is only book one, because I think this might be a trilogy. So, and then I also got Gilded by Marissa Mayer. So this book, I know some people have had issues with this, but I still wanted to get it because I heard that the second one in this is much better, and I just really want to read that one, and I'm the kind of person that has to read stuff in order, so I don't think you necessarily have to read them in order. I don't know, but anyways. So, yeah, so this is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and yeah, I just decided to get it because I'd been looking for the hardback version of this for a while. And then another one I was very excited that I got my hands on is The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. Number one, this cover is stunning. Number two, this sounds fantastic because the whole setting is this like expansive library, which is just a vibe. So, but yeah, our two main characters are pretty much connected to this library that has a bunch of secrets in it, and they're kind of going on a journey to discover said secrets. And I've heard good things. It gives me vibes, and yes, I'm excited I got it. So yeah, that is my 30 plus book haul. I'll probably have one later in a couple of months. I don't know. We'll see how crazy I go. But yeah, so very excited for these books. I'm so glad that I got my hands on a few of these, because some of these I've been wanting since I heard about them. And I'm ready. When I'm going to read them, I don't know, but I got my hands on them, so like, anyways, so yes, I will probably be seeing you next week for a wrap-up for July and also my August TBR, so I shall see you then. Bye!